Welcome to the King of Iron Fist Tournament 7, Lucky Chloe.
Okay, today I'm going to teach you guys how to beat this character here, Lucky Chloe. Specifically how to beat her Cali roll, because I think a lot of people complain about this character online. I don't think she's that hard. Obviously sometimes you do get hit by Cali roll and it's inescapable, but I want to show you guys some consistent punishment for this move and how it isn't as gimmicky as some people might lead you to believe. Let's go into the finish. So yeah, Cali roll is really dangerous, and I think people try to punish it the wrong way, right? And there is a very consistent way, and it is kind of it does vary from character to character. But I want to show you on a couple characters today how effective it can be. This punishment can be. So let's record it. She does this, it hits you, and you're pissed, right? And half the time you block it, and you're pissed because you're like, oh my god, so she's safe. How did she cancel it there? That's the whole thing. There we go. So she does this, you block it, and you take your turn, and she's safe. And you're like, why is she safe? Right? And some of you might say, well, there is a way to beat it, and this is the way to beat it. And I think this is the most generic way that people try to beat it, and that is to sidestep the last hit. Right? Sidestep late there. Half the time you get hit by it, or you sidestep and this happens. Right? And you're pissed. Sidestep late there. Right? And you're annoyed because you sidestepped it, you're either getting hit, or it's not punishing, right? And people, this happens a lot online specifically, right? That one time when she tries to throw it down, if you could have launched her, you could have killed her, and you're like, I want to punish her for taking a risk, right? She gets like, what, with a wall, 70%, 80% damage, which is insane. So you want to make her feel bad for using Cali roll, right? You don't want her spamming this. And this is the method that I personally use to beat Cali roll. Show you. Right? This might not be max damage, but this is just an example of a way to punish it. So how am I punishing this move? Right? Half the time when you try to throw shit out at Lucky Chloe, it just goes under. Now with Claudia's sake, he actually can float with jabs. Right? You can do this combo. And I think there's a misconception with how her roll works. So after the first two hits, right, I'm recording. I tried to play it. Right. There is a 13 frame window that you can interrupt with. But half the time when you try to jab, now this isn't a good example, I'll show you another example with another character later on. But when you try to jab in between, you can't float her because she has evasiveness. She doesn't have high crush because, as you can see, after the first two hits here, I can actually float her with highs. So she does not high crush, it's just evasive, right? So because Claudio's jabs hit sort of lower, he can float her. But the trick is, because most characters' jabs hit a bit higher, the trick is to float with a 13 frame mid. Because if you use a 13 frame mid, you can beat that option, right? You can beat the Cali roll, right? Without it evading hides. And this way, right, you can full punish. Now, you might say, well, she can do this, right? I know that is true, right? But if I do this to check after the first two hits, if I'm trying to float her, I'm completely safe doing this, right? It kind of resets to neutral because I'm recovering from back three and she is recovering from the Cali roll. So it kind of resets to neutral. So this covers the cancel. It keeps you safe in the cancel, and it floats if she extends, right? I'm going to show you guys a different example of how characters can actually completely shut down her, some characters can completely shut down the mix-up. Let's go into answer again. I make it so that she can't even cancel it, because cancelling it becomes unsafe. You saw in Claudio's case, he could float it if she did the whole Cali roll, but if she cancelled it, it kind of reset to neutral, so he didn't really get anything out of it. But there are some characters who can cover both options. So I'm going to show you Katarina, right? So if I try to jab, I'm going to get hit. Right? Katarina's jab hits pretty high. Why did she do that? Yeah, her jab hits pretty high. So if I try to jab her out, it's not going to work, right? So the more consistent thing, we'd think it was a down forward one, right? If I down forward one, it's a nice 13 frame check. And she also gets a full combo too. I'm just going to do that real quick. You can do something like this, right? And that ends with Gadoki. But she actually has a better option, and I'll show you guys why this isn't her optimal option. Right? And it's because of the cancel. If you throw out down forward one, you're going to be like Claudia, right? You don't float. You can't float it, right? She does this, okay, we're both safe. But there is actually a better way to beat both options. I'm going to show you guys with this. And it's actually with highs, right? Katarina can float with her 2-2, which instant screws, which also beats the cancel. So if she cancels, she's also not safe. So this completely shuts down Lucky Chloe's Cali roll, because there is no mix-up. I mean, the only mix-up is that she could do something like this. Right. Might do a couple rolls and do the low. But half the time you don't mind eating the low, right? Because you're not going to eat that much damage compared to hitting the mid, right? But if she ever goes for the 2-hit mid, she even goes for it, you can get up to like 40 damage, probably more than 40 damage, and especially with a wall, more than 40 damage with characters like Katarina. And I think I just wanted to bring to light the characters have an option here. Every character in the game has an option. Like, for example, Claudia doesn't get the best, right? From what I know. He gets back 3 to float, but he doesn't have an option to beat her when she... Well, he doesn't have an option that covers both options, right? I'm going to show you guys another example of another character who actually beats both options, and that's Lily. And Lily also beats it, not with a mid, but actually with her high string. I think when you are trying to practice with your character, try to find anything that is 13 frames or slower, or faster. Not slower, faster. You want to make sure it's faster. And have it either be a mid or a sort of lower hitting high. So let's record this. Right. And Lily can actually float this with a generic down forward one, and that's the thing that I think you should test first, right? Test if you have a down forward one, right? And if that works, then you test, okay, I can float her full combo. That's not what I wanted. Right? But can I cover both options? Or how can I min-max this, right? For in Lily's case, right, down forward one, oops, let me, covers the non-cancelled version and floats the combo, but it doesn't account for the cancel. So you're like, oh, well, she's like Claudia. She doesn't get much, right? Okay, I'm happy with that. Well, not exactly. I'm going to show you a different option that she has, just to show you the range of things that you can test to beat Cali. So let's do this instead. Oops. I only just started playing Lily's now. Now, if you do it faster, that leads to a full combo. I'll try to do it one more time. It's not full comboing, but I've done it before. It leads to a full combo, right? And on top of that, this option beats the cancel too, right? If she does the cancel, you can do the exact same combo. Again, it's not leading to it's not natural, but you just have to do it really fast. I'm not that good to do it. So yeah, that's kind of the way to beat Lucky Chloe's Cali roll without trying to sidestep it online or even offline. It gets a bit finicky. I'm sure all characters can punish it, but I don't want to say all characters. Like, for example, Marduk is a character that might not be able to check it because I think his highs hit very high. Again, I'm not a Marduk player, but his high is hit pretty high, meaning he can't jab her out of it. And if he could, it would be great because he could do like jabs into Voltudo stuff. But from what I know, he has a way to punish it, but it's not like the craziest thing in the world. Right? He doesn't have a 13 frame mid. So if I try to, I can only try to jab, right? And if I try to jab, she goes under. I can try maybe 2-1. Nope. So I don't know. If you guys are modern players, you guys have to figure this out. But I think this will hit. See, his wall standing 4 hits. Oh, sorry, standing 4 hits. But yeah, I don't know if you can come off this. So if you're a modern player, test whatever you need to test. But it doesn't seem like he honestly gets much against Lucky Chloe. And against the Council, I don't think this will hit. Yeah, that won't hit. So some characters will get better punishes than others. Gigas is another one that I don't know will get a good punish, but I'm pretty sure most characters in the game have a bunch of options. A down forward 1, that's 13 frames. I know Law can do this, and I see a bunch of people not doing this punish. So test your character. I'm sure you can punish it. Again, I'm probably going to give up maybe Kuma, Marduk, Gigas just because they're kind of finicky. But yeah, I wanted to make this video to stop people complaining about Cali roll, and honestly just feel good about punishing this character because she's a lot easier to punish than you think. So thank you for watching this video. I might make other videos talking about other character gimmicks that people abuse online, and ways to beat them, because this, yeah, I want more people to know how to beat this character. She's a lot easier, I think. She's easy on paper to beat, but sometimes you are going to get hit by Cali roll, and you're going to be pissed. But just make sure that every time you block a Cali roll, you are punishing it. Okay? That's all from me today.